Hey, I'm Stacie Davis Hamilton, and you're watching So Booking Cool.
So Booking! So Booking! So Booking Cool!
There's so much booking cool to listen to So Booking Cool.
Good morning. This, as you know, is the most wonderful time of the year.
Merry Christmas!
How you gonna make me a star, man?
Women should already know their place.
Listen, I heard your cousin was doing a little contest on Instagram. I need you to give him this tape for me, please.
Michelle, really?
Yes.
A cassette tape?
Yes. And
Did you travel back in time to 1992 to get this?
Look, you know one of these days I'm gonna marry you on Christmas Day, right?
Yeah, you say that all the time.
I mean it. I got a whole plan.
I was hoping that maybe we could spend the holiday together.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Why not?
You gotta do what makes you happy. You're the only woman I want to be with.
Andrew! Who was she?
Boy, is that a ring?
Maybe.
What did you get from there?
I am gonna help you with these lights.
Welcome to So Booking Cool, it's Joel B. Today's guest champions the belief that if you can dream it, you can do it. She started her career in television news and transitioned into film. In between that time, she worked as an author with her debut, The House That Taft Built, which she later developed into the acclaimed feature documentary, More Than a Coach, The Taft-Watson Story. 2 years later, in 2019, she launched Stacie Davis Films. She wrote Christmas in Carolina, and her new holiday film that she wrote and directed is Another Christmas, now streaming on Roku. In 2021, Exelion magazine honored her as one of the 10 most transformational leaders. Here with us today, she is Stacie Davis Hamilton. Stay tuned for our conversation only on So Booking Cool. You have shared your advice for emerging women leaders in film, and you have spoken on the importance of confidence and treating people with respect. Do you still stand by that? And when did you realize that those two pieces of advice were critical?
I still stand by that, and it is critical because we don't see many female directors. It's a surge now with Ava DuVernay and Lena Waithe, and you still have others that I can name. Just to see African-American female directors in a business that's really dominated by males is phenomenal to have someone to look up to. And so even though I'm not on the major mainstream, just to be where I am, making a difference in my community means so much to me, you know?
Yeah. When did community start to become important to you?
Always as a child, just giving back to my community and to other communities. But in high school and in college, you're driven to community service, you know? And so when I came back home to my hometown of Marion, South Carolina, we don't have a film, it's not a film industry here, it's not a big market here. So, but we have individuals who are interested in being actors, actresses, who can sing, who can dance, but they don't have that avenue to where can they go. They have to either go to Atlanta, LA, New York to be seen or be noticed. So with me coming here, opening the door for them to have an access or way to display their talents, that's community service to me.
Did you have any examples of people making a difference in their community when you were coming up?
I did. You mentioned Coach Taft-Watson. He was a real big community service leader, basketball coach in our area before he passed away, giving back to the young people. He catered to the young people, going to the different basketball camps that he would have with Raymond Felton, just to name, him, meant a lot. Just seeing him give back My pastor, he gives back. My mom and dad, they give back. So just to be in a family of givers, it trickled down to me, you know?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Where would you say that your interest in television news started?
When I was in high school, my senior year, I was I was in broadcast journalism class, and I had to deliver the news every morning. And so I enjoyed that, you know, just getting up, going to school to give the news to all the students. And it was an amazing feeling. So I wanted to continue with that. So when I graduated from high school, I went to Claflin University and I majored in mass communications. And I just knew, you know, broadcast was where I wanted to be. When I graduated, I started working for the news, and I had the opportunity to do a sports documentary. And that's when I realized, okay, I want to do film, because we have to do reenactments in that documentary. And so just to have the actors to reenact the scene, that even sparked more interest in me. So.
While also when you were in college, you had a mentor who showed you the art of storytelling. Did you have an interest in storytelling as a child?
Yeah, my mom, I remember her telling or reading stories to us. You know, that was big. Instead of watching TV shows at night before we go to bed, she would read a story or either tell us a story. And so you have to imagine, okay. I do apologize. I'm in the car, as you can see, with my mom, so
It's okay.
It's been a long day. But being around her to tell those stories, you have to imagine. Imagination is what I use. Just like when I'm writing my script, I have to step out of this world and go into an imaginary world to write my stories. So she was a big part to my artistic side.
Okay. Yeah, because I was going to say, like, with your love of storytelling starting in your youth, would you say that it evolved, and it sounds like it did, by the time you got to college and by the time you worked on your documentary and everything?
It did. It evolved a lot. When I got to Claflin University, learning how to write was a big help, because I didn't get that deep or detailed in high school. But to have that at Claflin, and that's a big part. If you're trying to be a storyteller, you're writing. And I wanted my stories, I needed to get the foundation, and Claflin provided that for me with writing.
Can you tell us your thoughts about when to cast up and coming talent versus talent that are big names already?
I like them both. I like the names that are not known. You want to give those people an opportunity. And I always look in the Southeast region, North, South, and Georgia, North, South Carolina, and Georgia, because there are so many talented people in this area, and they're not given the opportunity. So whenever I'm putting a post out on social media or by word of mouth, it just blesses my heart to see the response that I get from those. And then when I reach out to the name actors and actresses, and they're giving a response and they're willing to work with me, little old Stacie Davis, that's also a blessing as well.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And with Christmas in Carolina, by the way, that was your directorial debut, right?
Well, Peggy Williams directed the film. I wrote and produced the film along with another team of people. So yeah.
What was it like having television legends like Kellie Williams and Darius McCrary, who are known as Laura and Eddie Winslow?
A phenomenal experience, amazing experience. You know, I grew up watching TV, watching them on television, and to actually see them in person was just a blessing, because I reached out and they responded and they were a part of this film, and it's history, you know, that I can always say I worked with Kellie Williams and Darius McCrary.
Yeah. So tell us, by the way, where did the inspiration for Christmas in Carolina come from before we move on?
I was watching a Christmas movie with my mom, and I noticed the format, and we were binge watching Christmas movies all day. And I noticed that it was boy meets girl, girl fall in love with boy, they end up getting married. And I was like, Mom, I can write me a Christmas movie too. And she said, you should. And so she didn't know I was going to do it right then. I got up and I went to my room and started writing. And so she came in an hour later. She was like, girl, you left me to go to write? And I said, yeah, I had this idea and I need to get it on pages. So she understood. That's where the inspiration came from.
Wow. Look at that. And you went right to it.
Right to it.
Yeah.
I left her watching television that night and she came in to say, girl, you left me? I said, I sure did.
So did you show her the screenplay?
I was showing, but she was with me through the whole process. You know, you have to have a second pair of eyes. And that was my very, very first script. You know, I had other scripts, but nothing like this that I'm getting ready to bring on actors. I've always written, but always put it to the side. So with this script, yeah, she was my second pair of eyes. So she was along with the process.
Now, with your other scripts, why did you push those ones to the side?
Because of finances.
Okay.
Finances, and then I was still young and still learning. And during that time, I was doing a lot of books. I was writing books for Coach Taft Watson, and then other individuals in the area asked for me to write for them. So I didn't have time to do script. I was doing manuscripts for individuals for their books.
Ooh, yeah. Tell us more about how you got into writing manuscripts and what that was like for you, your impressions on that experience.
As a freshman at Claflin University, my professor asked the class to write on a significant person in your community. I immediately thought of Coach Taft Watson. I wrote an essay on his life and legacy, and it was so intriguing about his life that I asked him, would it be okay if I, wrote more pages? And he said, okay. And so we wrote more pages, and I said, would you be okay if we put it in the book? And he said, sure. And he didn't, he didn't think it would happen that quickly. And, some months later, we had a manuscript, but we also had a book. And so we released that book in 2010. And just to see, at the time, he was 89 years old. And just to have him there during the process, being recognized by his community, by his former students and other co-workers was a great experience. So that's how I got started with books, from an essay at Claflin University.
Wow, that is phenomenal, Stacie. Can you tell us what are the differences between writing a story for a film and then writing a story for a book?
The difference for me, because I wrote about his life, everything had to be accurate. I couldn't fudge anything or fake anything because this is his life. This is what happened. Whereas a script, I'm making everything up, or either by making it up or from things that have happened to me, or funny things that have happened, or I've seen it with my family members, but that had to be, wasn't true. Anything was true. So that's the difference between the two for me.
Mm-hmm. And how do you hone your craft as a director?
Researching, reading, attending different seminars when I can, listening to other directors, just a lot of reading and looking at videos. That helps me a lot. YouTube helps me a lot. Being open-minded, not saying that, hey, I'm a director and I know everything. I don't know everything. It's okay to learn, and be open to learning more techniques to become a better director.
Wow. So you prefer to be behind the scenes?
I like to be behind the scenes because just to make sure everything is running accordingly. Okay, there we are. To make sure everything is running smoothly as they should. So I do like behind the scenes, and I'm okay with in front of the scenes too, in front of the camera. I'm okay with that as well.
Okay. So would you ever star in any of your work?
Oh, no.
No.
I don't think I would do that. I think I would do like a cameo or a small role, but nothing major. No.
Okay. Yeah, that's so classic too, to see a director have a cameo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you think of a project where you saw that and you thought that was done well?
Tyler Perry. Big example, just to see him direct and then he's in his role. I think that's amazing because it takes a lot of work, and a lot of people may not know it, but it takes a lot of work. You do need a team. When I say work, it takes work, and for him to put in hours as a director, and then he's transforming into an actor to remember lines that he wrote. That's a lot, and my hats go off to him. And that's what inspired me. If he can do it, so can I. Even though I don't have big roles as he does, just to make a cameo and one little line for me works for me.
I love that confidence, and that's why you have that belief. You said if you can dream it, then you can do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So what is the heart and soul of Another Christmas, which is coming to Roku?
Yeah, the heart and soul, very different from Christmas in Carolina, different family. Everyone has, issues in their own household, and then they're bringing it to one household, and so all these issues are shown, and then you have to rectify those issues. You have to solve the problem. You have to figure some things out. So the heart and soul of this movie is to show that we all have challenges. We just have to figure it out, never quit on them, but figure it out and work on them. For example, in the film, there was a couple who was having issues with fertility. You can't give up, and they never gave up on each other. They were there for each other, and the heart and soul is family, love, strength, and it's a feel good. That's what Another Christmas is all about.
It also seems like it shows how realistic it is too for people to have a change of heart from people that was in their past. You can kind of grow from any tension or any conflict that you've had with someone from your past, and then next thing you know, you're looking at them differently.
Absolutely. You said it. You said a mouthful. Yes, that's true.
With
that is true.
Brooks, right?
With Kellie Brooks, she had a change of heart. Yeah, she did. They were high school sweethearts and college sweethearts, and then things didn't work out, but years later someone had to make a change, and they saw the growth in that individual. And you want to evolve as a person. You want to evolve. You don't want to remain the same. You want to be different. You want to know that you're growing.
Absolutely. What is it like typically, like the first day on set? What was it like?
First set, of course, running prayer before we got started anything for the week. We met as a cast to go over what to be expected for the week, and from there we called the scenes out and had those that were in that scene to be ready to go. So it's hectic. Because you're getting everything together to set the pace for the rest of the week. So if you can start early, which we did, we came in Saturday. We started shooting Sunday, but we came in Saturday. We met as a cast Sunday. We were there. We set up an hour early before the cast arrived, went over with the cast what they needed to do, and then we started shooting all day. And that sets the pace for the week.
What is your favorite thing about holiday movies, and what advice can you give to anyone who wants to write and direct holiday movies?
Well, let me say this, the answer first to the question. Just do it like Nike says. You want to be a director, direct. Get you a phone. If you don't have finances for the major cameras that you see Hollywood has, go get your cell phone and record and direct someone. It's okay. Direct someone. Start with the resources that you have. If you're really adamant about being a director, if you're really true to what you're wanting to do, then you'll start from the ground up. I didn't have a production team, it was just me. And my mom has home videos of me using her camcorder, videoing my sister, telling her how to sing, so it started as a young person, as a young child. So I will tell anyone, just go out and do it. And your other question was, what makes me the holiday films? It's holiday. It's the holiday season. Everybody's happy. It's a great time of the year, and you just want to stay in that moment. You know, it's just a different moment when you see all the red, greens, and golds. You know, it's just a great feeling. Everyone can come together, sip cocoa, sing Christmas carols, you know, giving presents to those that need. It's just a giving moment because you're giving a lot during that time. You're doing toy giveaway, coat giveaway. Everybody, like the whole nation is coming together to give something away. And that's a really great feeling. If you think about it, you don't have that every day, but that one month, that one day in that month of December, it's a really grand feeling.
What do you want people to know about you as a filmmaker?
I am from South Carolina. I'm learning as I go. I did not go to film school. I went to Claflin University. I have a BA in mass communications. So if you say, well, you got to go to film school to be a director, well, if that's your route, then you take your route. I had to take the route that was for me. I went to Claflin, graduated with a BA in communications, and I trickled down this road called filmmaking, and I'm just making it do what it do, you know? So I'm happy with the decisions I made. I have a really great support team and system. You need to have a great support. And if you believe in God, trust in Him, and He will direct your path. He will direct.
And what has been the response to your work so far?
Overwhelming. It's been great. You're gonna have naysayers, but you cannot feed into that. You have to go the other way. For those that are for you, I rock with them, and we keep going. The naysayers, you can't go, and you really can't let that get to you. My mom told me that when I first released another Christmas in Carolina. She was like, do not do that to yourself, because you know what you had in your heart, you know what you were trying to do, and you did the best you could. So that's what I had to do. And you want to get better each and every time. You want to get better each and every time. And so for me, I just want people to know that I am a young African-American filmmaker who's doing it on her own with the help of God, making a difference in her community.
And you also talked about, you know, books. You are an author. Are there any books at all, Stacie, that have helped you along your journey in your life?
I was a big fan of Mildred D. Taylor as an author, and Lorraine Hansberry with A Raising the Sun. I was a big fan. Like, I would read A Raising the Sun over and over again. Honey, we got background music and everything back here. I do apologize.
We're gonna wrap up soon.
Okay.
Yeah, Lorraine Hansberry.
It's moving day. We just purchased a new home, so we're trying to move and just, it's a lot going on today. But I had to take time to talk to So Book and Cool because you thought of me, and I dare not miss this opportunity to speak with you. So I didn't care how busy I was today. I didn't care where I was going to talk to you today.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so glad to talk to you, Stacie. I really do. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, and I love it. So what was it about those writers that resonated with
their style and how relatable their stories were? It just resonated with me. A good story, just if I can tell you, and gosh, it was a first grader book. I can't remember her name. Junie B. Jones, yes, her. Loved her in first grade and second grade. And that writer, I think her name was Barbara Parks. How captivating she was as a writer, and for me to imagine as a first and second grader. I mean, that was the style that I like. You have to be a great writer to capture a child's mind. Yeah, you got to be really a great writer. So she introduced me to that, to writing.
Yeah. So are you someone who's able to write with noise in the room, like music or something, or do you need it to be quiet, Stacie?
I'm a little bit of both. I have to have a little bit of noise in the background, just a little bit. So if I have like my background music playing, it may not be blasting, but I hear it, you know? So I have to have a white noise. If the washing machine is on, that's fine with me. What I cannot do, if we're having like a holiday party and family and friends are over, I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah. And you know, again, excited for another Christmas. What do you want us to know about everybody else who is involved in this film?
I want everyone. Ryan Toby is in this film, Another Christmas, and they may say, who is Ryan Toby? Well, Ryan Toby played in Sister Act 2 with Whoopi Goldberg, Lauryn Hill, and a few others. And he is most known for singing this song, Oh Happy Day, in the scene that she was directing the choir, and it was a shy little boy, and he was really nervous, and he was singing really low, and she said, come here. She called him out, and she told him to sing, and then he had this beautiful voice, and he came out really strong, and he hit this high note, and Whoopi turned around, and she looked at him like very surprised that he sounded like that. He's most known for that role, he's most known for that, but he's also articulate. He's very intellectual. He's known to be 1/3 of the group City High, Grammy nominated, and a pop sensation back in early 2000s. He took a break with family, being a dad. And so to have him to return back to film was a blessing. I'm grateful for Ryan Toby to work with me. He also has a television show that we created together that's on another platform, on another network. So just to have him there, I want people to know that he's back. He's funnier than ever, and he is excited. I also want to mention the cast that I have. Malik Brazil, Sheena Foss, Christopher Griffin, Kavan D. Jarman, just to have a nice group of cast members who came in being dedicated, using their talents, being understanding was such a great thing. As a director, you want a cast like that, and I had a cast just like that.
Wow. Okay, there it is, because I wanted to also know the best quality of like a set and everything. So you laid it out. You did. Do you think with any career that people should set out to be a leader?
Say that one more time.
Yeah. Do you think with any career people should set out to be a leader?
Yeah, you want to be a leader. I mean, I would want to be a leader if I was working on the police force or working in the school system or a hospital. You want to be a leader, and you don't have to, or a pastor. You want to be a leader because it's in you. You just got to dig deep inside. But I think everyone is born a leader. You have to tap into it. And I would want to be that. And not a dictator. It's a difference. I wouldn't want to be a dictator, but just to inspire someone, I think that's leadership. Encourage someone, that's leadership. Going over backwards for someone who's really deserving of it, that's leadership. Giving clothes away without having to make a big announcement on Facebook, that's leadership. I don't have to tell that I gave this child clothes if I'm doing it from the heart. Do it from the heart. I think that's leadership.
And on that note, Stacie Davis Hamilton. Stacie Davis Hamilton, thank you so much for coming on So Booking Cool. Loved having you. Again, excited for Another Christmas coming to Roku, and also everybody still check out Christmas in Carolina, because that is also on Roku. And how can people keep up with you and the wonderful work that you're doing?
My husband tells me all the time, you got to do better on social media. I only have Facebook, so that's where you can find me, Stacie Davis Films on Facebook, or my personal page, Stacie Davis, or I have a website, staciedavisfilms.com, and you can go from there. Those are the three main platforms that I'm using right now. I'm not on Instagram, or it's just so much going on, but I'm not making excuses. I do have to use my resources. I have to do better with social media, but those are the three: Facebook and my website.
And do it at your own pace. Pace. Yeah. But it can be a great resource and connect. I'm sure there's people who want to reach out to you and just share their thoughts on your movies.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. I have a 2-month-old son, so I am. Yeah, so that's where my time goes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can imagine. Oh, that's lovely. Do you see yourself ever writing a children's book?
You know what? I would love to. I did one with Taft Watson. It was very, very simple, just for a keepsake. But I would love to. With him now having a child of my own, I would want that.
Okay, well, that would be exciting.
It would.
Yeah.
Don't know what it would be about, but it would be very nice to have a children's book or a children's show, cartoon or something. You never know.
Yes.
By the way, you gotta have. It's so much out here, but I would want to have something educational.
Definitely, Stacie, and you would be great at that too. To add to that. Yeah,
you would be great. I think you would be great.
Oh, thank you. I love it. Yeah, so, thank you again so much. Would love to talk with you again in the future. And thank you to all the viewers and listeners. Until next time, so booking cool.
Thank you. Have a great day.